Hi, it's Paul Maunder from Production Expert, and in this video I'll be demonstrating Nugen Audio's Paragon Reverb. It's a convolution reverb with a difference. If you want to read a thorough explanation of how this works, along with some of the story behind its development, check out my article on the Production Expert blog. In essence though, Paragon seeks to offer the realism of a true convolution reverb with the flexibility and tweakability of an algorithmic reverb. Now, there are other convolution reverbs which allow you to adjust parameters, but the major benefit with Paragon is that whenever you make an adjustment, the impulse response is resynthesized rather than being time stretched. This means no audible artifacts, but Paragon also brings about several other benefits, such as spectral analysis and precise EQ of the impulse responses themselves. We'll talk a bit more about some of the other features shortly, but I know you'll be keen to hear Paragon in action, so here it is on some dry dialogue. I'll adjust the pre-delay, decay and size as the audio plays. This is some dry dialogue which I've recorded in an acoustically treated space. Using Nugen Paragon, we can not only add a nice sounding reverb, but also adjust the parameters. Paragon resynthesizes the impulse response to give a complex reverb field with the adjustability of an algorithmic reverb and no audible artifacts. One thing about most convolution reverbs is that you typically need quite a large library of impulse responses in order to get the kind of variety of spaces you might need. By contrast, Paragon actually uses quite a small collection of specially commissioned impulse responses, all of which have been captured as B-format ambisonics recordings, which means that the signals can be processed to generate a number of different output channels arranged in a variety of layouts. Because of this, Paragon is able to support channel counts from mono all the way through to 714 for Dolby Atmos. Here's the audio again with a different preset. This is some dry dialogue which I've recorded in an acoustically treated space. Using Nugen Paragon, we can not only add a nice sounding reverb, but also adjust the parameters. Paragon resynthesizes the impulse response to give a complex reverb field with the adjustability of an algorithmic reverb and no audible artifacts. Now I'll choose another preset, and this time I'm going to make slightly more extreme changes to the parameters. This is some dry dialogue which I've recorded in an acoustically treated space. Using Nugen Paragon, we can not only add a nice sounding reverb, but also adjust the parameters. Paragon resynthesizes the impulse response to give a complex reverb field with the adjustability of an algorithmic reverb and no audible artifacts. Let's take a listen to some other dialogue. I'll select another preset and once again make some adjustments as it plays. You'll notice how natural the reverb sounds thanks to the resynthesis of the impulse response.
Entonces, ¿qué, compa? Necesito un favor, necesito un pli. Ok, manito, es que ando con una aprieta y no tengo chavo, ando corto de dinero. ¿Cómo, güey? Gracias, manito, ya bien, yo, brother. Se le agradece. Ok, contá con eso. ¿Tenés candela o qué? Yeah, pero si me dices su nombre primero. Sí, pero si me regalas tu teléfono, no te coloques arisca, pues.
One other key point to know about Paragon is the crosstalk control. This is essentially the interaction between each channel and its adjacent channels either side. When this is dialed down to 0, it pretty much creates a multi-mono signal, so the input signal only generates reverb for its corresponding output. If the crosstalk is increased, each input signal is allowed to bleed into its adjacent channels, generating a smoother spread of the reverb across the panorama. I'll show you what I mean. Obviously, you'll be hearing this in stereo in this video, but trust me, it works extremely well when you hear it in surround. Keep an eye on the reverb scope in the middle of the plugin for a visualization of this. The crosstalk control works very well to alter the influence each individual channel has on the reverb effect across the other channels. Nugen Audio have really managed to pack a lot into Paragon, and there's quite a lot that I could say about it, but hopefully that gives you a brief overview. For more information on this plugin, do check out my article on the Production Expert blog, or head over to nugenaudio.com. Thanks for watching.